Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're looking at this. My name is Caleb Burt, and this is my heroic imagination. What is a hero? A hero, according to dictionary.com, is a person noted for courageous acts or nobility of character, or a person who, in the opinion of others, has special achievements, abilities, or personal qualities and is regarded as a role model or an idol. But what does that mean to me? Well, whenever I hear hero, the first thought that comes to my mind is superheroes. For example, like Captain America, overcoming trials in life, fighting as an underdog before and after becoming a superhuman, and he fights for all people. Or Superman, an outsider alien from Krypton, standing as a symbol of hope and selfless in nature. Or maybe even your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, a relatable teenager who relates to me personally, need with a overwhelming need to sacrifice and is called to action by Uncle Ben's famous saying of with great power comes great responsibility. Plato came up with the idea of a platonic thing, such as a chair. Something takes the form of it and is a perfect example of it, and everything else takes form from that. Everyone knows what a chair looks like, but some chairs can have three legs, four legs. They all look different, but the idea is that it is a chair. My plutonic idea for a hero has these following qualities. They are strong. They can relate to us. They fight against evil and oppression. They are willing to sacrifice. They are role models and selfless in nature, and they have the ability to inspire others. For me personally, the person who fits all of these requirements with flying colors is Jesus Christ, the Platonic hero. Born to Mary and Joseph in Bethlehem, Christ's birth was seen as miraculous and immiraculous at the same time. Born from a virgin and said to be the Son of God, according to accounts from the Bible, he was born in a manger, a very lowly birth, and raised as a carpenter by his father. He is very ordinary for the times in the Jewish land of Israel, but there's a sense of calling to him, a sense of power. It is then that he starts his ministry with a call to action, which is his baptism in the Jordan and the trials and temptations of the 40 days in the desert. During this time, he was tempted by the devil to give all of his power and serve him. Instead of doing that, he starts his ministry and goes forth and calls the apostles, his sidekicks, if you would. Jesus Christ taught teachings included promoting love and unity, welcoming all, calling out corrupt practices in the church and in politics, and he tried to influence everyone else to do the same. What about Jesus' strengths? All good heroes have superpowers, or all good heroes are really strong. In Jesus' case, these are called miracles. For example, turning water into wine, feeding of 5,000 with only five fish and seven pieces of bread, and the raising of the dead. In this case, we're talking about his friend, Lazarus. While these are all impressive, they're not really superpowers, if you would. I mean, yes, kind of they are, but they're not laser eyes, they're not climbing on walls, they're not super strength. But Christ showed his strength through his weakness. While Christ is all powerful, being the Son of God, he never uses his power maliciously or to override our will. He promoted peace and love on earth and after, and know that ruling through fear was not going to influence us to become better. That is why he shows sacrifice. During his life, he created a lot of enemies, from Jewish leaders to Roman officials, who did not agree with his message. For this, he was persecuted, betrayed by one of his apostles named Judas Iscariot, his Bucky, if you would. He was scored, he was tortured, and he was crucified. Now, if you know the story of Christ, he rises from this. He comes back from the dead. But why? Why would he die? Why would he sacrifice himself for us? Because he needed to show us. He needed to die and rise again to be an example for us, to inspire us. He loved us. He wanted us to be saved. He needed to set the example that death doesn't need to be the end if you live through him. He wanted to inspire us to live this message that he preached of love, unity, caring for one another, because he cared more for himself. He cared more for us than he did himself. That's why he was willing to risk his life. All of these are good examples of why he's a Platonic hero. But the reason why I selected him is because he's the ideal form of a hero. Someone who's not willing to take, someone who is not willing to give, someone who's willing to give their life for us. I've been a Catholic my whole life, but just recently learned what his full meaning really is. He is a force in this world that is wholly good and benevolent, a man willing to sacrifice himself for all of humanity in the past and future, me included, not because he expects from us or wants praise or admiration, but because he loves us. In times where I have hated myself and thought that of giving in, when I thought that I was completely irredeemable in the eyes of God, there is Christ right there for me. A person who will always call to me, try to inspire me and comfort me. Like Superman or Spider-Man swooping in to save a child falling from a building, so too does Christ with all of us. Not because he has to, but because he wants to. That is the true meaning of being a hero. Being willing, being willing to put others in front of yourself and inspiring others to do the same. Creating more heroes through your own actions. That is why Jesus Christ is my hero. Thank you for your time.